Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3 and another showcase of Evolution's fully playable Revolutions mod, which does exactly what it says. It makes every Revolt Civ in the game its own entity with their own decks, their own metas, and their own Civ bonuses. Well, mostly. If you want my full impressions on this mod and my first impressions of it, I did a video already. I think it was Finland versus Hungary. Yeah, because it had the Hungarian Grenadiers, which were insane. So if you haven't seen that video, first of all, shame on you. And second of all, go check it out so you can get my full thoughts. But here we are once again, and big ups to Evolution for sending this replay in. Ooh, we have a fight between a brave explorer and two grizzly bears down here. Technically brown bears, but isn't that the same thing? Aren't brown bears, Kodiak bears, and grizzly bears just all a different way to describe the same species? Maybe a naturalist in the comments can let me know. Yes. But his explorer is named Meriwether Lewis. How fitting that Meriwether Lewis would be attacking a grizzly bear. Though, in my knowledge, I think he just, documented wildlife. I don't think he went around slaughtering it for treasures. But, hey, maybe he just didn't put that in his diary. Let's dive in to the civilization matchups. Enough of that obscure history. In the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the United States, we do have Evolution, the maker of the mod. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, United States, that's not a revolt civ. What are you talking about? Well, this is the revolutionary version of USA, the original United States before we got them as a DLC civ, and they are a little bit different in flavor. They're kind of a mix of the standard US and a little bit of Britain, because this is before the United States is its own nation, so there's a lot of the British flavor still there. And yeah, if you look at the deck, you can kind of see it. So you have the British Musketeers instead of the regulars, but you also have a lot of the powerful H3 cards that you would see with the United States Civ. And again, with their bonuses, it's kind of weird because they're also like a little bit of Dutch in a way, because their explorers are called citizens and they cost coin, but they can make manor houses like the Brits, which make villagers. So yeah, try to get your head around all of that. But still, a really, really cool civ. And I think different enough from all of the other civs that they're based on to feel unique. And let's look at the opponent in the south. Ooh, it's Batu. Batu. I didn't know he played this mod, but he is in the color red, and he's playing as South Africa, which, in case you don't know, these are not like African South Africans. These are Dutch settlers. I think they're called Boers. I don't know. Is that name offensive? I don't think so. But yeah, fought with the British, Boer Wars. I don't know a lot about it. I just know they're a part of that. So you're going to see a lot of heavy Dutch influence with this civ. Obviously, a lot of their cards are basically just Dutch cards, but the one thing that makes them a little bit different is they have this unit called Trek Wagons, which are like a combination of outposts and dragoons and TCs. They're very strange, and apparently South Africa ages up with one every time they go to the next age, so we will get a look at that shortly, because Batu is going up with the Quartermaster. Interesting observation, he does not have a 3 settler card, so he's starting with 300 wood, which obviously is not as good as 3 settlers, but it is going to make getting his first bank up in transition incredibly quick. And you can already see he's already got the resources bank already going up. And wow, he's putting that down fast. He's got 5 villagers on that thing. I usually go like 2 or 3 when I'm building banks, but Batu's also better than I am, so who am I to judge? And it looks like Evolution is already up. He did go up with the outpost. It immediately follows with 700 wood, 700 coins. So we're probably going to be seeing an FF on the horizon, or maybe we'll see a manor boom. It is possible, because remember, this version of the United States can build manors, a market and a barracks going down, so maybe not a pure FF. Both civs did start with a trading post, which I think is smart. I mean, if you're South Africa and you're not going to be able to use that 200 wood for your first transition bank, you might as well get a TP down. And there's the Trek wagon, ladies and gentlemen. I know it looks like a TC wagon, but this thing has 450 HP. It has 50% range resist, and every villager you put inside it to garrison, it actually ups the attack of this unit. I think it can get up to like 60 attack, which is kind of insane for being a tank unit. So yeah, really, really cool. But right now it's just going to be used as a scout because I think its line of sight is also quite good. And Batu, wow, he's really putting down banks fast. He sent 700 wood, followed that up with the bank wagon, and he has not gone for any military base, any military building. So we're probably going to be seeing a 4-bank naked FF from him, which, I mean, is very standard Dutch, and South Africa is basically Dutch with a little more flavor. And, you know, that's the thing you're going to discover with these mods. Some civs feel a lot more like their, you know, original home civs, and some feel, you know, really unique. Like the Barbaries, for example, are really unique. They don't really feel like Ottomans at all. But Batu, what is he doing with this wagon? I mean, he's scouted. He's seen the TP. Is he trying to escape? Is he trying to go over the plateau? I don't think that's going to work, Batu. I think the walls are too high. And let's take a look at Evolution's base. He's got the church, which has just been added. He's getting up manners at quite a decent rate. He's at 25 bills compared to only 15 for Batu. And yeah, wow, we're really seeing the effects of not having that 3 villager card. But he does have 5 banks down before the 7-minute mark. That is insane. And I guess that's what 300 wood can do. So, I mean, it is a trade-off. He has sent 700 wood, bank card, and 600 wood. I would not be surprised if he follows it up with the 700 coin and just gets into H3 where a lot of his really good shipments are. Oh my God, he has a 2-bank shipment? That must be a unique South African card. Wait, how many banks can they build? How many banks can Batu build? Because if he can send that and get 8 banks before 10 minutes, that is insane. He's got no villagers on coin or wood. It's just all on food. But yet he's still going to get enough coin to age up. That's absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, Evolution also juicing up his economy. He's at 26 vills, 80 manor population. He's got 2 shipments saved up. He could send 4 vills, 600 wood, but maybe he's saving them for age 3. Because he also has some dirty shipments there as well. Getting some of his market upgrades, and it looks like he is going to be going up with the marksman. So a pretty fast age up for him. Going to be a solid 8-minute, 15-second time. And this Trek wagon is still just plodding along, you know. It does make for a really nice evacuation site for villagers. A way to get them out safely. Because, 450 HP and 50% range resist. It's going to take a while to take one of those things down. Especially if there's more than one. And once you have villagers in it, it becomes its own military unit, which is kind of insane. But Evolution, look at this, slamming down a fort and 3 Gatling guns. Oh my God. He's going for a 5 Gatling timing, ladies and gentlemen. So one other thing about Revolutionary USA is every time they put down a fort, they get 2 Gatling guns. So you get a fort, which is going to get you tons of map control, and it's going to give you 2 Gatling guns. And along with the 3, how does Batu do with 5 Gatlings at 10 minutes? Batu is now in H3. He's sending Bosniaks? Oh my God! That is literally the perfect counter to the Gatling gun play. He immediately slammed down 6 Bosniaks. And what is he going to send next? He's making Reuters. He's making Skirms. He does have another Trek wagon, which he could use for his push, though. He only has 19 villagers. But 5 banks, that's another, 20 villagers as well? Or roughly around 20, because I think it's 1 bank for every 4-ish vills. And now we're seeing the 3 Gatling guns come in. The fort is going to go up. He's got some revolutionaries to bolster his defenses. He's even got the 6 skirms from the marksman. And what is he sending now? Sending powder alarm. Ships 5 petards and 2 depots. What? What is that? But now the skirmishers and the Bosniaks are arriving, as well as the veteran Reuters, and the fort is not up yet, so there's going to be no support, but the revolutionary's going to do a nice bit of damage, and the 3 Gatling guns arriving, and the 2 arriving under the fort, but 2 Bosniaks peeling off to take him out. 1 Gatling goes down, another is certainly going to go down, and the 3 in the back are not going to be receiving any infantry support. And yes, the Bosniaks are going down, but they are going to take 5 Gatlings down with them, which I would argue is a fantastic trade. And at the same time, Batu is going to see these petards, and excuse me, 1 Gatling gun is going to survive, but now the element of surprise is up, and these petards will be easy to snipe for Batu. And that's the thing about petards, is if you don't get the element of surprise, it kind of ruins the whole effect. And this remaining Gatling gun, excuse me, is only at 15 HP. So wow, Batu could not have pushed out at a better time, and he's made such a wall here of these high HP buildings, the market, the banks, that even if he does push in with these 5 petards, it's going to be very difficult for him to make any progress. And I love the play by Evolution. If the Gatlings had been able to meet with the infantry, I think it would have worked really well, and I think he would have beaten Batu there, but it was just the micro, and it was the placement of the units that really killed him. And now we have this mishmash, hodgepodge army coming to Batu's base. 2 Hussars, that is not going to be enough to scare these skirmishers, especially since they have Reuter reinforcements. And he's now shipping European immigrants, which I don't know what that does. Oh, it ships a ton of Vils and gives him a trickle. 1 bank going down for Batu, but remember, he does still have the 2 bank card that he can send. He has another shipment available. No, wait, he already sent the 2 bank card, which, where is it? I have no idea. Is it a 2 bank card? Yeah, it ships 2 bank wagons, so I'm not sure. Oh, there they are. They're in the back. But the fight is going to go in favor of Batu. All of the petards are dead. The Gatling gun is dead. The depots are looking for a good place to go down. But the Reuters are going to see it, and once again, it's just the line of sight for Batu, and he's been so hyper-aware, but now the reinforcing skirmishers for Evolution are actually going to put Batu on the back foot. Now, he still has Minutemen, if I am correct. He sent 12, so he sent the Lexington Minutemen, which basically gave him 12 Minutemen. I don't know where he got the skirmishers from. Maybe he's just making pure skirm over at his fort, but track wagons don't have any villagers inside them, so they cannot do any damage. But look at that, a full volley. Not even a third of the HP is gone. So those track wagons, they are serious tanks. They are no joke. And Batu, look at that. He's already back up to 7 banks. How is he getting 7 banks? I don't know what it is about South Africa. Maybe they don't have a bank limit like Dutch do? That's incredible. Man. And imagine if those 2 banks were still up. He could have 9 banks. Maybe there is a limit. Maybe it like taps out at 8, but oh man, that's crazy. And ooh. Did Batu send? Did he send the Nassau Regiment? Did I miss it? Where is it? Oh no, maybe he just doesn't have the coin for it. Yeah, that's what it is. I thought he sent it. I was like, where are those guys? 8 skirm coming in now, pure Reuters being made, and now these Reuters can do what Reuters are very good at doing, which is running around the map and being absolutely insufferable for your opponent. But now look at this, more Gatling guns coming in from Evolution. He has, wait, how did he get those? I don't know where everything's coming from. Oh man, so he's got 3 more Gatling guns. Pulaski's Legion is on the way, but there's quite a few Reuters here. And if the skirmishers can stay clear of the Gatlings, they might be able to do okay. But now these Reuters are just going to charge in, one-shot these Gatlings. That is their weakness. They are quite squishy. And now the skirmishers, they're going to be charged by Pulaski's Legion. Now these guys, very high attack, but also incredibly squishy. And look at the damage to the skirmishers. There's plus 12s everywhere for Evolution. But just like that, they're already falling again. These guys are incredibly soft. They are glass cannons. Just full stop. And now these Gatling guns even going to take out some of the villagers here. Evolution at 56 Vils, only 20 Vils for Batu currently. 2 Gatling guns are still in the fray, but now the Reuters are going back, and there's just enough Reuters to possibly take these guys down. And now with Pulaski's Legion out of the way, Evolution, it might have to pull back again, because, I mean, Pulaski's Legion, that thing costs a lot of food. Technically, it's called Pulaski's Continental Cavalry, but it's basically the same thing. And yeah, wow, a nice job by Batu pulling off another hold. And I mean, he's just been so good with his micro. Yes, he did lose a lot of his skirmishers, but he was able to pull the remaining number back into this turtle shell that he's created with the banks. And I mean, I can't really tell who's ahead, because on the one hand, Batu is down by 37 villagers, but on the other hand, he just won a second big fight, and he's still got 7 banks working overtime. I don't know. Who's winning at this moment? And we do have to take into effect that Evolution, you know, he has used up a lot of his good shipments. He's very low on coin. Really, all he has left to send are, you know, musketeers. He could send 1,000 coin. That could help a lot. Or he could send Continental Army, which turns all of his revolutionaries into regulars. I don't know. Depot looks like it's going down, but nice catch by Batu. He's going to get out in time, and that Depot does almost no damage. And the rest of the Continental Cavalry are going to fall. State Militia going to go down as well. And I don't know why Evolution's pushing in here. I guess he just wants to set up that depot. Maybe he wants to try to take down that outpost, but the depot is going to be going down quite quickly. And again, just the control by Batu has just been fantastic all game. And now the veteran state militia and the revolutionaries are going to fall. And it looks like Evolution continuing to make revolutionaries and now adding in veteran hussars, which, if I'm being honest, I mean, that composition is going to play directly into Batu's hands. Batu's going veteran skirm, veteran Reuter, and I don't see how veteran hussar and revolutionary is going to counter that. Now, he's mixing in some skirmishers of his own, which actually makes this civ in some ways, you know, stronger than Britain, because Britain never has that option to incorporate skirms. They only have longbows, which don't kite very well. And so the fact that, you know, Evolution can manor boom, and he has Gatling guns, and he has skirms, but, you know, he also has things like musketeers and veteran hussars. I don't know, like Revolutionary US seems like a really, really strong civ in this mod, but South Africa, their economy is a bit odd because it's very low on villagers, but just the amount of banks they can get up is quite ridiculous. And look at what he's been using all that coin for. He now has 5 falconets in play, and there's just not enough hussars to threaten it, and these 3 Gatling guns are going to get obliterated. Though he can't lose too many of these Reuters. He wants to keep them alive because he's got to deal with these hussar somehow. Outposts being very cleverly placed by Batu, so he's not actually going to lose any villagers there. Though now we see musketeers coming in. Yeah, he's really starting to run low on cards as Evolution. Batu, not a lot of cards as well, though. I would say his remaining cards are better. He does have a fort. He has 1,000 wood, 1,000 coin, and these hussars going to get caught in a very awkward position. A couple of them going to go down for free, and now we're going to see the armies run into each other. The 5 falconets have been unlimbered, but the remaining hussar are going to try to take them out. However, there are enough skirmishers there to body block, and the Reuters returning in time for dinner, and the American army has to flee. There's no way they can take on 5 falconets. And what can Evolution do? He's got to get culverins out. It looks like he's just going to go mass hussar, which is the tempting option, but mass hussar against the Reuters and against this many falconets, it's just not going to be enough. He does not have the economy to sustain that sort of calf production. So I don't know. I really think culverins are what he needs. He needs to get it down in artillery foundry. He has the wood to do it. Get down in artillery foundry. Even 1 or 2 culverins will, you know, make Batu play honest. Will allow him to pull back and at least be nervous. But oh, that's a ridiculous falconet volley from Batu, and one of those Gatling guns gonna get hit as well. And oh my God, falconets just dumpster on Gatling guns, and he is, yeah, I mean, really nice pull trick there by Batu. He is not taking any chances. He's making sure that this cavalry stays safe. Reuters, again, this is why mass hussar against Reuters, it's just not enough. Yes, they might take out one of these falconets, but I think all of the Gatling guns are going to fall, and he's going to pay the price for taking out these falconets. And meanwhile, I mean, Batu's getting so much coin income that he can pretty easily replace these guys. More Prussian Uhlans coming out. I don't know how he got those guys, but they're going to go down as well. And again, Another convincing fight in Batu's favor. Even still has 2 Falconets alive, even though they are quite wounded. And I don't think Evolution has the economy to rebuild a 4th army. He is on 64 Vils, though. He's got 64 Vils, still on 1 TC. Definitely would want to have at least a second one, maybe even a third one up. And Batu, he's now at 25 villagers of his own, still has the 7 banks. So, I mean, you factor that in, that's about 28 villagers plus the 26. That's what, 44-ish? So, not as big of a discrepancy as you might think. More Falconets coming out, Fort Wagon being shipped. And both of these players, I mean, it's hard to tell what they're going to do in this situation. I feel like one of them wants to pull the trigger and get up to H4, but that is risky because the minute you stop investing in units and you start investing in such an expensive age up, that might give the opponent the chance to come in and finish you off. And we still haven't gotten these Trek wagons to be showcased, which I'm a little bit disappointed by. I do want to see the Trek wagons. But now the second South African army is moving out, and it's got 6 Falconets along with a Fort Wagon. And it looks like Batu's just going to surrender the villagers in here, which, oh, he got them out. He got 3 villagers out. But, I mean, they probably are eventually going to be destroyed. This Fort Adams, named probably after, who would that be named after? That'd probably be named after, like, John Adams? Sam Adams, maybe? I don't know. But that is going to fall. May take out one of the Falconets on the way out. But that's, I mean, that's a 500 resource trade for a 1,000 resource trade. So still pretty worthwhile. And again, what does USA do? These raiding Hussars, they are doing nice work, but there's still enough veteran Reuters to make sure that these Falconets will not go down. And he actually did get a second Falconet. So I guess that trade was more even than I originally thought. And, ooh, 8 halberdiers. No, 5 halberdiers coming out. I like that. I like the incorporation of halbs. It means that the Hussars just can't charge in and try to take those Falconets because the halbs in close combat will do even better than the Reuters. Actually taking some damage there from that depot. You got to make sure, even when you're destroying depots, you got to make sure not to get too close because even when they're destroyed, they will damage your units. So now pure Reuter and halberdier coming out from Batu. He's got the fort, he's got safe hunt, he's got the 7 banks, and Evolution, yeah, the resources are really starting to run dry. Look at all of these walking vills just moving around, trying to find hunts, trying to find coin mines. That's going to be the big thing. I mean, Batu has like 7 banks worth of infinite coin, and I only see one safe coin mine for this point for Evolution, so I don't know why he's not killing these vills. Okay, now he's going to. I guess that vill didn't notice the massive South African army, or maybe he was so focused, he was like, you know what? I know I'm going to die, but I am going to gather this deer. And yeah, I mean, Batu's really starting to jump ahead here. He's even bold enough to split his army. But at the same time, Evolution, the reason why he's not sending units to deal with is, oh my god, a huge counter raid here by Evolution. And this is exactly what he needs. Batu only on 19 vills now at the 23-minute mark, and Evolution is now in H4. So where I was about to say that Batu is in charge of this game, I am completely mistaken. Now, I don't think he's out of it yet. But the fact that, you know, Evolution now has a whole new plethora of cards he can send is really going to start tipping things in his favor the more this goes. Now, if Batu can catch this military before it gets upgrades and before the factories get out, he could seal this game, but he's got to act quick. And you can see he's moving fast. He wants to find Evolution's army. He knows he's on a clock. And here is the engagement we are looking for. The Falconets are going to unlimber. And yes, the United States can try to disengage here, but I don't think Batu's going to let him. He knows that Evolution's trying to buy time, and that's the one thing he does not want to give him. And we can see that, I mean, God, the transition to estates and mills, it is going to severely hurt Evolution's ability to make units. And look at that. He's barely getting out a full batch of Hussars, and he's making revolutionaries as well. But again, he just doesn't have the food income to produce both along with villagers. A nice placement of a battle flag, and the Reuters coming just in time. Looks like those Falconets were meant to lure out the Hussars, and this is going to be the engagement we've been waiting for. And Evolution, he cannot pull back now. The Hussars have gotten engaged. They are going to go down because these are now Guard Hussars, but all of the infantry support is going to go down. And yes, a couple of the Falconets have gone down as well, but at the cost of all of the American infantry. And the question is, can Evolution rebuild? He's only going to have this mass of Hussars left, and while they are Guard, they're not going to be able to outrun these Reuters. And if the Reuters are smart and they're macroed well, they're going to be able to get a lot of free damage on these Hussars. And ooh, yeah, okay, he's got to make sure to kite. He cannot allow those Hussars to get a direct engagement. 2 more Gatling guns are now out for Evolution, but Batu does have 1 healthy Falconet left, which he can use to try to snipe those. But again, these Age 4 cards might be what saves Evolution here. Haslet's Continental Regiment coming in now. That's going to be 12 regulars. I don't know. Are regulars really what he needs? What is Batu doing to respond? Batu is also now in H4. I completely missed that. He is now sending all of his factory wagons, and look at this! He's making Guard war wagons, which is a feature of the South African civilization. And oh man, that is going to be such an interesting composition. War wagons along with potentially Guard Reuters. That could be absolutely disgusting. Guard skirmishers are now out. I'm really hoping he goes for Guard Reuter. Maybe he's just going to completely abandon Reuters, though, and go for, maybe just go full War Wagon, which at this point might be the safe bet, because War Wagons do have a lot of tankability. Batu only has 24 vills at this point, by the way. Does he have any more banks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, still 7 banks, but also 2 factories. And again, I'm going to go back to the point I made a couple of minutes earlier. Ooh, I just hit my mic. It's the resource question, right? So Evolution, he's got 1 estate, 1 mill, 2 estates. But yeah, I mean, his food production is, it's not very good. He's even saying himself, I'm pretty cooked, which I think he is. I think, that window to utilize his industrial age techs has officially passed. But Batu, of course, being a great sport, saying he played well, which Evolution has certainly played this game very well. There were numerous times where his army was wiped, and I thought it was all over for him, but he was able to remass. He was able to come back. And we'll see. I mean, there's probably going to be at least 1 more engagement, but the units are just barely coming out of Evolution's base. Meanwhile, I mean, Batu is consistently queuing up 5 war wagons. He's getting out skirms. He's even getting arsenal upgrades at this point. And now all of these units are guard teched besides the Reuters. And look at how many war wagons he has. 10 guard war wagons, which are going to decimate those Hussars. And they might even be able to put some good damage on the Gatlings. 2 Gatling guns, not going to be enough. And these Trek wagons now coming in. These guys have 518 HP. And look at how well they are cutting. Look at how little damage they take. That took 3 full volleys to kill 1 Trek wagon, and it gave the South African army enough time to get close, get an engagement. Now, there is this depot here. He's got to be a little bit careful, but the Reuters and the war wagons are going to make it impossible for the Hussars to engage. The infantry is down. The Gatling guns are down. The economy is looking poor. And, I mean, Evo's got to be thinking about clicking the resign button at any minute now. Yeah, oh my God, there's just no way for the Hussars to get on the skirmishers and do any significant damage whatsoever. And looks like gonna take out this depot. Yeah, he's got to be a little bit careful about that. He needs something that can just shoot that depot from long range. Evolution, he could still ship 2 heavy cannons, could ship another fort wagon, 3 culverins coming out, but I mean, there's no cavalry, or excuse me, there's no artillery for it to kill. So I'm not sure what that's going to be for.
Yes.
God, 5 culverins. That's insane. I thought it was 3 culverins, but it's 5. Yeah, but I mean, still, at the same time, what do 5 culverins do against war wagons? Actually, do war wagons technically count as artillery? I don't think they do. So I don't think culverins have a bonus against war wagons. Somebody let me know. But Evolution calling the GG there. And what an awesome game that was. South Africa versus Revolutionary US. You know, after watching all that, I honestly can't say which one is better. We'll have to take a look at the stats. Guys, follow me to the post game. All right, here we are in the post game, and I just can't get over how awesome that game was. And despite being down significantly in villagers, Batu actually had a pretty substantial resource advantage. Now, it was practically all in coin. He doubled Evolution's coin output. And in terms of military, he actually was significantly down. But again, a lot of the units he had were Falconets and 1 Pop Reuters compared to a lot of the 2 population units that Evolution had. But man, there were a couple of moments there. There were a couple of moments where Evolution, if his micro had just been a little bit tighter, he could have broken the back of South Africa. But after Batu held that second time, that second push with the Ulans and the extra Gatling guns, I felt like that was really when the game turned in his favor. And it was costly, don't get me wrong, but you know, once that happened, all of the map controls started swinging in South Africa's favor. And yes, Evolution did get into Age 4, but he just didn't have the economy. He didn't have the resources, the natural resources to sustain both upgrading to industrial techs and getting out units at the same time. Whereas when Batu got into Age 4, he could. But again, really great game. Actually, really great raids by Evolution a couple of times. Like, you got a good raid here, a good raid here. You got a great raid here, another one here. So Evolution, he has certainly become a very, very excellent player. And happy to see him, happy to see Batu, happy to showcase this mod once again. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Go to the mod page, okay? Download the fully playable Revolutions mod, pick your favorite Revolt Civ, and just have a good time. But I will be back with some Lines of Battle content this weekend, a little bit of a collab if everything works out. So I hope you come watch that. In the meantime, have a great day, have a great life. See you later.